Hey guys, how have you been? This is nothingwired.com and you're looking at the new Lenovo S860. Now it's part of Lenovo's S series of smartphones. Now S series denotes mainly the stylish, elite, metallic design, slim kind of smartphones, and also one of the bigger smartphones out there in the market, 5.3-inch phablet mainly. So let's go ahead and check out the box first. So you have the phone there, Lenovo, and you can see S860 metallic body, 4000 mAh battery. So it's one of those phones with a monstrous battery life. Then you have your 2GB RAM, 16GB ROM, that's internal space. Same thing on the back side, you can see some marketing and import informations. You'll see 22,999 is the MRP, but then I've seen it on Amazon.in for about 19,650 rupees, and also on Amazon.com you'd get it for about $354. 442 grams. This is a very heavy phone, but it's a big phone and full metallic, so it could be heavy. I mean, we are not surprised. So let's quickly go ahead and check out how the phone looks. I'm gonna take off this thing, and on top you see that's your phone. It's beautiful, it's thick, and it's heavy. Yes, that's the S860, but it kind of looks like it built like a tank. We'll come back to the phone just in a bit. There a lot of things inside this. Very playfully built, all red colors and stuff. So you have your manuals here. There's a pin to open the SIM tray, and then your quick start guide and your important product information such, and your warranty card. Below that you have your earphones, which are in-ear noise cancelling type. Yeah. And then you have your call control and mic. And that should be, I don't know if it's the volume rocker also, so we'll just have to see if it's a volume lever as well. And then you have a gold plated audio jack, which is better than a silver plated one. You have your USB micro USB 2.0 USB cable here, your OTG cable, and then the USB wall adapter round pin one. Yeah, and then of course you have this extra pair of earbuds. The S860 is an unbelievably good looking device, and although it's heavy, over 400 grams, you'll give it to it because it has one of the biggest batteries in the industry, 4000 mAh, and also it has to cope with the 5.3-inch IPS display as well. So both of these take a lot of space, so over 400 grams in a total metal and glass body is not very surprising, but then this guy will certainly make its presence felt in your pocket, and it's also quite big. But then the curves and everything, somehow Lenovo has managed to build this device that in the hand actually it's not looking that heavy, it's not looking unmanageable. It has about 10.3 mm of thickness, that also very thick by today's standard, by the S standard actually. But I love the look and feel of this device. It's all metal. You have this brushed unibody aluminum, construction. It's a lightweight aluminum construction, plus you have the IPS glass here. It's very premium. Everything, even the buttons are premium, all metal. And you can see this nice, this diamond cut kind of design on the edge of the camera, and LED oozes glass. So you have that 5.3-inch IPS display. It supports multi-touch up to 5 fingers. On top you have the earpiece, and then your sensors and notification LED lights, and then your 1.6 MP front camera, and below you'll have the 3 soft keys. So those are your soft keys, the menu key, and then the home and the back keys. Then on the left side you have the SIM tray. So this one SIM tray will take both micro SIMs. There you see, it will take both the SIMs. So SIM 1 supports 3G and SIM 2 supports only 2G. Below you have the micro USB 2.0 port and the twin speakers here. So no mouthpiece to be found anywhere. Then you have the power button and the volume rocker. They give very good feedback, mainly because they are metal over metal. Amazing feedback. Then on top you have a noise cancelling mic, alright, and then your 3.5mm jack. Behind you have the 8MP autofocus camera accompanied by an LED flash, your Lenovo branding, and very nice, amazing brush metal look. Let's go and take this off because you don't need these protections on this device. This device is built like a tank, and even if it's heavy, I would love this because it might also come as handy as a hammer. It's a gorgeous device, alright. The S860 is powered by Android 4.2.2 with a very heavy customized screen on top from Lenovo. So you have this unlock screen that goes up like this. There are no widgets here, and the notification bar come out on top of the unlock screen. So once you unlock, you would get to the home screens, and you can add this many home screens, up to 9 of them. You can also press this to make any home screen your primary home screen. And then let's look at the notification bar again. So your notifications, all those, and then your quick function toggle bar here. You see, you can go here to see all of them. You can also customize the notification bar from, you can hide the notification bar, you can display the battery percentage there, see, and you can also display the current network speed, and then some other informations. Yeah, and you can also straight away go to your settings from here. We'll come back to the settings. Your app dock is customizable, and you can straight away take it to on top of another app to simply create a folder and then bring it back. Now one thing to notice here is that there is no main app dock. You see, you do not see any menu key. So all the apps are on this home screen, on these 9 home screens, and like the iPhone, for example. So every app you see here are not merely shortcut or just the icon of the app, they are the main apps. And let's say if you just drag them and try to uninstall them, you're actually try to remove them, you're actually uninstalling the app and not merely removing the shortcut keys. Yeah, those are your Google apps there, and then your menu, so preferences and themes and all. Let's go ahead and check out the theme. So you have all these themes. I have this theme installed, and then you can also inside the theme can customize your lock screen wallpapers and boot animations and almost all the elements, which is a good thing. That's what I did. I have my custom wallpaper both on the home screen as well as on the lock screen activated. I see. You can long press it to have your recent apps. You can do away with them just like that, or simply click this to kill them and release some RAM. You can also long press on the home key to straight away go to Google now. Yeah. Now there's a slight lag that persists throughout the UI transactions, and because of the heavy customized skin on top of the default Jelly Bean, despite of having a 1.3 gig quad-core MediaTek processor and 2 GB RAM, the phone has that persistent slight lag throughout. It's not annoying, but it's there, and you will notice and experience it. Yeah, so you can simply long press anywhere, let's say, to add widgets. You cannot add your apps because all the home pages are your app tray basically. Yeah. So talking about the display, it has that 5.3 inch display HD resolution. So that comes to about 277 ppi of color density, which is certainly not enough. And if you see the icons closely here, you would see that they are actually pixelated, which is typical feature of this kind of screens. So if you look very close, of course you won't look at an icon from this close, but you see they are kind of pixelating. You see that S. It's particularly noticeable whenever there is a round icon like that, lens for example, the C. So it pixelates. However, the screen is quite bright although not that crisp, and the color reproductions are also good, and we're gonna see just that. So let's check out some of the apps, for example, and we're gonna start with the gallery, through which you can show you the display as well. So let's go ahead and check out a photo, for example. So when, let's say, we're viewing this photo, you can see all the color reproduction, the saturation here, and the hue, the yellow color reproduction, even the orange one. I think the orange one is slightly oversaturated, but apart from that, it looks pretty good. It's bright enough, and even on the sides the color reproduction is just fine. There is no fuzziness, and the viewing angle are also decent. There you see, it's quite decent. So overall, we like the screen despite of having a low resolution. Now we're gonna check out a video to just confirm that. So let's go ahead and play our test video, which also, by the way, will give us a chance to see how the speaker performs. So you can see perfect sync between audio and video. The display is bright and well, relatively crisp, let's say more than average, and the blacks are not exactly very dark due to that low resolution, but then they're still good enough, and there's no fuzziness. Absolutely, you see full HD screen, it's all the outlines are very clear. Again, the viewing angle you can see are brilliant to say the least.
From the messenger. Oh yeah, of course. Our greatest masters are disappearing.
Almost to the 180-degree viewing angle point, and that's actually one of the features of this phone. It has that wide viewing technology through which you can look at the screen even from this angle. You see, it's almost 180-degree, but then the reflection is not taking over the screen. It's that good. So apart from when you will look at this screen from, let's say, a very microscopic level, the screen would perform just fine. Now the voice output. The sound is decently loud, but then there is not much bass in it. The treble is quite fine, but then I just feel the treble is just a bit overdone, so that it's kind of very slightly crackling. See? You see the edge of the sounds are kind of scratchy.
Freaking in.
Yeah, so that's about the sound quality and the display quality while playing a video. I see there is no default music app here on the S860, so we're gonna be resorting to the Google Play Music, and let's check out some of the musics now.
I'm staying up. I'm wilding out. I'm leaning in. I'm leaning in. Pushing off my sneakers to the ground. I do not jump. I move the earth down. Bear witness. Oh man, I retire, but I'm still so young, so I gotta go hard. Since I can stop having 60 cars. Stay it up. I'm wilding out. I'm leaning in. I'm leaning in. Pushing off.
So again, see, similar story here with the music output, via speaker here. Now even the non-vocal music kind of sound loud enough, but then it divide up that bass, and really that's slightly edgy at the outside of the sound, and the treble is kind of slightly overdone. It does not just match the wavelength, all the wavelengths, The S860 is powered by an 8MP back camera and a 1.6MP front camera. So that's the back camera there, you see, and it's pretty fast, as you can see. Okay, quite fast, and we'll see, I think it's a 0 shutter lag on, so when you switch it off, and it's gonna take some time. Still not very slow, still quite fast. So that's cool. And then you can start taking video by here. Does not let us click stills though. However, you can pause the video and you can start again, so that different instances can be recorded in the same file, which is a good option. And you can toggle the display here. You can either show the information or not. That's a new thing on the UI. It adds some of your modes, so normal, the HDR, panorama, and some other stuffs. That's your flash settings, and that's how you switch to your 1.6MP front camera. Yeah, let's go ahead and check out some of the settings. So you have GPS location, your exposure compensation scale, your color effects. Again, you would see pretty much like the default Jelly Bean ROM, even if the icon face is different, and at the core remains true to the Android Jelly Bean ROM. You have anti-flicker and stuff, and 0 shutter lag, continuous shot up to 40, 8MP. You have ISO up till 1600. You also have grid lines and stuff, and then video quality fine. Time-lapse interval as well. It also takes continuous shooting. There's a sound there. So shoots about 5 FPS, I guess. And the buffer size is 40. Just gonna click 40 photos, and you're gonna delete all, or you can manually delete them. So that's typically the camera UI. Stills clicked with this camera under enough light are surprisingly detailed, even at 100%, and even slightly more. Whenever you zoom slightly more, the detail is there. However, at some point it's slightly on the soft side, and that's maybe because the autofocus is not that sharp. When you zoom in, because it's a digital zoom, obviously the details are sadly missing. However, it's still relatively more detailed than some of the other phones at this price point. So at least to capture the info, you can apply the digital zoom. It's not so bad. However, the phone clips highlights a lot. The metering of the phone is very good. The low light imageries are also decent, surprisingly. We are really impressed by this 8MP camera of Lenovo. Now, when you have ISO auto, it kind of bumps up the ISO level, so there are noise, and in 200 the pictures are pretty much dark. Anything over 400 and you'll see noise, but then up to about 800 ISO it's quite usable for your social media site. ISO 1600 shows almost unusable noise. Apart from the main apps, there are some other apps also that comes with the Lenovo. So you have almost all the Google default Android apps, like you can see Gmail and Google Plus, Maps, Play Store, Play Music, Hangout, Chrome. Some of them are default, like for example Play Music is the default app here. Apart from that, you also have a theme center that I've shown you during settings, so you can choose all these themes. And then you have Secure It, which is a security software from Lenovo. You have antivirus and privacy guard and all these things, anti-theft and all, pretty comprehensive. And then you have Sync It, which kind of syncs your contact and SMS messages to the cloud. However, surprisingly, the moment I do a backup, it says no contact on your phone, whereas there are contacts there. I have to figure it out. And then you have Share It, so you can share your files with your friends' phone, tablet, or laptops and stuff. So you can be the sender or you can be the receiver wirelessly. You have your power manager, which basically gives you 3 modes. That your normal mode tells you 70% battery, the battery time 28 hour 19 minute, and when you go to power saving, it kind of goes that. And then you also have an emergency mode, much like the S5's ultra power saving mode. When you switch on to this, the phone kind of shuts everything and goes to a black and white mode. See, you cannot go, there's nothing, no app dock, no menu, nothing. You only have these 4 icons, only the time and stuff. So this kind of extends the battery life a lot. Now on a normal day, it actually lasted us about 2.5 days or slightly more, considering about 7 hours of sleep at night. However, the ultra emergency mode actually we started using this phone ultra saving mode right from the start, and it took us more than 6 days to finish the battery on this. And we're using the phone moderately. Of course, in ultra saving you do not have much option, but then in power saving and in normal mode you can of course use the phone as you want, and we're using it moderately, not much but moderately, like we're really simulating the real life use, not unnecessarily stretching the phone. So 2.5 days at least on the normal mode, and about 6.5 days on the ultra power saving mode. That's a monstrous battery life. But then this guy is known for his 4000 mAh battery, so that's not very surprising. That's what adds to the weight as well, of over 400 grams. So you have gallery, video, you have the file browser, driving apps, and then you have some tools. There's your flashlights and recorders and radio and stuff. You also have some games there, then some third-party apps like Facebook, Skype, Twitter, Evernote, lots of third-party apps, lots of Lenovo in-house apps. So there's no dirt or bloatware, absolutely. And this heavy customized UI skin plus all this bloatware is actually making this phone slow. Now we'll try our hands on the gaming. So let's start with Fruit Ninja as usual, as we always do. And already very slight lag. Let's see, very slight lag. But in this game, at start of the game, downloads some data, so usually it's slower on many devices. So let's see if it becomes smoother. Slow. No, the lag still persists, as you can see. Very slight lag though. You really have to concentrate to see the lag, but then it's not coming up at the space at the space as intended. Let's check out some other games. Beach Buggy Blitz next, and again there's a very insignificant lag in the movie. Let's play it. Let's rock. Yeah. Response is almost real time. Good. So smooth so far. Dungeon Hunter 4. There's a very slight lag persists. But then it became smooth. Now it's more or less smooth. No problem. So this game is smooth. Asphalt 8. Very slight lag so far. But this game will tell us whether it lags or not. Smooth so far with a very insignificant lag, but then that's okay. I'm not gonna hold that against the device. Good. So smooth so far. Wow, that was cool. Yeah, so smooth. So our final test is Nova 3. It's a very demanding game. So far so good. Nice. Skip this. Straight away go to the gameplay. Smooth. The MediaTek processors have become really good these days. Earlier a MediaTek processor wouldn't have played this game, but now it's playing it as smoothly as a Snapdragon processor. Good. Good. We are particularly impressed by this processor. And of course the 2GB RAM also helps here. There is slight lag in most of the games, fine, but then we cannot be so specific and so demanding because it's not a flagship as well. So at this, for the price point, I guess the device performs pretty well. But also very good looking. I'm feeling slight uncomfortable in the movement, in rotating. Very slight uncomfortable.
I'm wilding out. I'm leaning in. I'm leaning in. Pushing off my sneakers to the ground. I do not jump. I move the
So overall, it's quite smooth, although not what you call buttery smooth. Now check out some of our benchmark scores. Now before going to any conclusion, let's first check out some of the goods and some of the bads of this device. Now first, the pros. First of all, it's gorgeously made, all metal and glass, very ruggedly made, and although this is not particularly thin, but then it fits nicely into hand. Number two, the camera quality is surprisingly quite good. Number three is that we like the customization, we like the overall themes and the apps and tools that Lenovo provide, that almost does not leave anything for you to install right after you set up the device. However, that also leads to one of the main cons of the device, which is that the UI just lags a bit, a very slight lag, but then it persists almost throughout the UI transactions, so you almost will feel it, will be annoyed by it most of the time. It's not going to hamper anything, it's very slight, but then you would notice it, and it's there almost all time in any kind of transactions. That's one of the main thing bad about this. And the best thing about this device is the 4000 mAh battery, and certainly that's the USP of the device as well, that lasted us more than 2.5 days. That's incredible. Now one of the reasons for that longer battery life also is a low resolution screen. You have a 5.3 inch screen, which is quite big for viewing multimedia and web pages and stuff, but then it only an HD screen. Having said that, the screen is more than decent. Now, talking about the competition, there are lots of phones at any price point these days. So you have the Galaxy Grand 2, and then you have the Nokia 1320, you have the Xperia M2, and also there are Gionee phones, Gionee S5.5, you have Micromax phones, Doodle 2, and even Canvas Night, and you have Motorola Moto X. Two of the biggest competitor to this phone could be also Idol X Plus and the Panasonic P18. Those come much cheaper than this one, and they are kind of like the flagship with much better batteries and a spec sheet. However, the two biggest competitor to this phone could be the Moto X mainly, and the Canvas Night. The Canvas Night mainly because of Micromax brand image in India. Micromax is the top selling Indian brand right now, and it's going pretty good, so that phone might sell only on the brand name, and the same goes for the Galaxy Grand 2 as well. However, the Motorola Moto X specs and performance wise could pose a serious threat to the Lenovo S860. The Motorola Moto X is very smooth, it's buttery smooth, it has KitKat, and it has a more manageable form factor. It also comes with the always on mic and OK Google, which is kind of a very welcome feature. It costs about 2000 more than this one, but then a lot of people are preferring, or probably would prefer, the Motorola Moto X. Now, whether you should get this device will depend on how frustrated you are with the battery life of your smartphones. I certainly am. 4000 mAh battery is certainly the USP of this device. Even the Galaxy Note 3 and other phablets would come with a battery life that's slightly over 3000. 4000, it's an amazing battery life, and coupled with the low res screen, it gives a really monstrous battery life. So if that's one of the must-haves on your card, this device is perfect. This device is gorgeously made. It's very rugged, all metal and everything. It's slightly heavy, slightly under 450 grams, but then you would not mind carrying it because you know that the weight is because of the battery and the bigger screen and also the metal part. The camera is also very decent. So you pick your call. I would certainly recommend this phone to you. If you like this video, please hit the like button, ask anything related to this device and we'll try to answer those, and please subscribe to our channel Nothing Wired for more such awesome content in future. Good night.